Hi everyone, it's Tammy at Frou-frou Studio. I'm trying for the third time to start this video. I'm glad you're here with me today. I am going to be working on the cover for my Junk Journal Madness journal for the month of March. Junk Journal Madness is sponsored by Susan at I Totally Love It, and her guest collaborator for the month of March is Stacy at Crafty Dragon Creations, and she gave Susan a list of 6 themes for journals, and Susan put them in her magic little spinner, and the theme that came up was Irish, Scottish, Celtic, and then she rolled her magic little dice and came up with a 6 for the number of materials to use and a 9 for the number of makes to put inside the journal. So relatively small numbers this month, so I don't think I'll have any issues getting a journal done with those amount of makes. So if you did not participate in February for the February theme and you want to get started in the month of March, if you'll hop over to Susan's channel at I Totally Love It, she has a link to a list that you can go and see the ideas for your materials and also for your makes. And also, if you watch her video that came out yesterday, you can see where she did the spinner and the dice and all that kind of stuff. So, with all the technical things out of the way, I'm going to tell you my plan for my journal for this month. And be sure, if you're not participating and you just want to see what everybody's doing, that you put in the hashtag Junk Journal Madness, and anybody who's participating and is posting on social media, those videos will show up, or those posts will show up, and you can see what everybody else is creating. I have a playlist on my channel as well, and I know Susan does. So we're very excited about these journals, and I'm sure Susan would love for you to join in. Okay. Journal. All right. I am doing a file folder journal this time. I have this stacked in here so we can work on the cover. But it's just a regular old manila file folder. And I've cut it to 9x6 because I am using a printable this month. I did not have enough stuff in my stash to do the kind of journal that I wanted to do. So I did purchase a digital. The digital that I'm going to be using is by Cherith Art, and it's called the Vintage Scottish Travel Journal Kit. So as you can tell by that, I have chosen Scotland, and the reason I chose Scotland over the Irish or the Celtic is because I am using a green kit for my design tea project for Sweet Pea Curiosities, and I was afraid that I would get sick of green by the end of the month if I chose 2 green kits. So this is a really cool kit. It has a lot of tags and stuff in it, and a lot of really cool papers. So that's what I have not fussy cut everything out yet. I'm also using something that I did have in my stash, and that is these guest check pockets that are by my porch prints. And the reason that I'm going to use those is because the thistle is the flower of Scotland, and it goes with the digitals that I'm using. And then I do have a couple of pieces of original ephemera. This is one of them. This is a pattern advertising card, but it has this little boy in his kilt on there. And I also have a girl, and she is fussy cut. Let me see if I can find her in my little basket here. This little girl, and she's also got the little plaid skirt on, so I thought she was real cute. So I'm going to use her. And then I also have a whole stack of postcards, Tuck's postcards, that are all of Scotland. So I, of course, won't use all of these, but I did go through and pull out all the ones that are Scottish so that I could go through and pick some out to include in the journal. They're beautiful cards. They're all landscape photos, and they show a lot of the lochs that are in Scotland. And so I'm going to use some of those. And I have some music paper I'm going to use. And I went through and got some dictionary pages that have, you know, Scotland, Scottish, and then bagpipes and things like that that I'm going to use. And I went through all my plaids, and I pulled those out. And I probably won't use all of them, but I did pull them out. And then this gives me kind of a Celtic vibe, this little scrolly paper here. And then I have this bookend paper, which to me resembles this. So I'm probably going to use some of that too. And then this is my signature. I'm doing a single signature with, I think it has 20 sheets. And this is the digital. And like I said, it's a really cool digital. It's got a lot of collage type images, and then I stuck in some, you know, noisy paper. So I'm looking forward to using this. I'll just kind of flip through it real quick so you can see what it looks like. This is some parchment paper I stuck in there. There's some poetry and some handwritten stuff in here. I've got some kind of waxy paper. And then, of course, we go to the back sides. So, this is going to be my signature that I'm going to put in the book. Okay, so let's get started on the cover. The first thing I want to do is ink all the way around it. And I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. Instead of using a Distress Oxide, I'm going to use my Archival Potting Soil permanent ink. And the reason I'm doing that is I want a really dark brown. And I went through all the colors, and this is the color that I think matches best with everything else I'm doing. So this is what I'm going to ink with. So I'm going to do that, and I did a little dauber just so I could put it in my permanent ink. So I'm going to ink that around the edges, and I'll try to do this quick. I know it's boring to watch somebody ink their pages. This front page, you can see, was a little bit short. My paper was, and I didn't have another piece. So I just patched it at the bottom because in the end, once I get my collage on the front, you're not going to be able to tell that I patched it down there. And then I just have two different kinds of paper. I have the same on the front and the back, and then I have, let me take this out for a minute so I can ink everything. And then I used a different plaid on the spine. Thing about using this little dauber, it takes a little bit longer to ink because it doesn't cover as much ground. We're going to go once around it to get started, and then if we need more, we'll do more down the road. Now, when I cut my folder, I have an 1.5 inch spine on here. And when I cut my folder, I left it a little long, and I'm trying to get this edge right here just a little bit. I folded it over. So on the inside of the front, I've got this little flap, and I'm going to make that a tuck. I do want to make sure I get some ink on that. I am not going to cover the little flappy part, but I am going to cover underneath it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this part because I want to put book corners on, and so I need to have that already inked. So, in other words, it looks like this from the back, and then it looks like this from the front, and when you open it up, there's a little flap right there. Okay, so let's now start laying out our collage. All right, so I have this, which is a page from the kit, and I've trimmed it down so that it will fit on the front cover. Because normally it would be half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet. I'm going to ink around that as well. And the brown that you see on this is why I wanted to make sure my edges were nice and dark so that it would match. And this is printed on regular copy paper, and I think I'm actually going to mount it on some cardstock to make it a little sturdier, because I want to, I've got some pieces that I printed this page twice so that I could make some of the pieces more dimensional. So that one, for example. I'm trying to decide if I want to emboss that just to kind of make it, and is it, I think I'm going to cut a piece out of cardstock as well and glue on the back. This one may be a little smaller. Yeah, and I think this one's too big. Excuse my reach. Oops. Yeah, that one's too big. Of course, I could. Do I mind? No, I think I'll put the smaller on there just to sturdy it up. I know I could trace around it and cut it, but I just want something to make it stick out a little more. But I don't want to, I don't want to use foam tape or anything like that so that it gets ripped off. So let's glue this. I'm gonna use art glitter glue. Oh, and of course it's gonna give me a hard time. Alright, and then I'm gonna poke a hole in it and put a brad in there. And I am going to put this on cardstock. Just so I don't have anything that telegraphs through from the from underneath. I know I've got some cardstock sitting right here somewhere. Oh, it's under my cutter. That's where it's at. Okay. So let's put this on here real quick. Oh, big glob of glue right on my thumb. Okay, and I'll just turn around the edge there. Get this glue glob off of me. Okay. So I'm going to trim around this. Okay, and I need to put my pin in my glue, which I just lost. Where'd you go? I had my hand on it and it slipped. And I have no idea where it went. Amazing. Okay. Whoops. We got a spare. I'll find it in a minute. Alright. So now we can poke a hole and put this little guy on. And I am going to glue it as well, but I wanted to, I want the hole to go all the way through it. But I don't necessarily want it to rotate or anything like that, because I just want the illusion that this is the only one on there. So I'll make sure that it's lined up exactly. And then spread out the little feet on the back. Maybe. Alright, so there's that piece. Now down at the bottom, I want to put the shield down here. And actually nothing is going underneath, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece in place now, because everything else that I have is going on top, not underneath. Give us a good dose of glue so we don't have anything coming loose. And I'm using that seam as my guide to put this down. So I want this piece to be right on that seam. Okay, so then we have our shield, and I'm going to use walnut stain to go around it, because now that I have the potting soil around the journal edges to tie in this brown a little more, these interior pieces don't matter as much if they're not the exact same color. And my shield's going to go right here. And again, I think I'm going to put it on cardstock. Otherwise, I'm going to have a lip right here, and I don't want that. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and glue on this little Scotland. Otherwise, I'll have the same issue with it because it's going down here. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out and get that corner. I didn't get that corner very good. Cut those two out real quick. Sorry about pulling off screen. Sometimes when I'm fussy cutting, I pull things in close to me. And I forget when I'm filming that I shouldn't do that. Again, ink it again since I put that cardstock back there just to make sure we don't have any weird edges. Okay, so my shield is going to go here. So we'll glue that on. And then when I cut or printed the second one, I also cut out this piece of washi, faux washi, that is going across there, and I'm going to put it across the shield like that. So it's basically going to be in the same place that it was before, the only difference being that it is now on top of the shield instead of underneath it. So it makes it look like it's taped on there. And then my Scotland is going to go here. And then there's a whole page of tickets, Scottish tickets in the kit that makes the whole kit worth it, in my opinion, because they're really cool. I'll show it to you. I have not cut it yet. I think I have it in this stack. Or not. It'll be the last one, watch. There we go. Look. Very cool. And they're for, excuse me, for different things. Like, some of them are for trains and stuff, but some of them are golf tickets, which golf was invented in Scotland. Some of them are dog tickets, which I think this green one, no, it's a bicycle, so they can take their bicycle on the train. This one's so they can take their dog on the train, which I thought was real cool. And then these are for golfers. And then I saw one, I think right here, medical golf. So it's the medical party going to the golf courses. So yeah, they're really cool. So I look forward to using those. But I'm going to use this one just to kind of complete my collage and bring in the green from here. I think I'm going to put it about right there. Which I should have put it up under this. Maybe I can get that up enough. Yeah, I think I can. So we're going to ink it up a little bit, because that's how we roll. If you don't ink, don't ink. No, I mean, it's by no means a requirement. Some people don't like it. Some people do. I prefer the grungy vintage look, so I ink. But please do what you like. So that's straight. Straight enough. Alright, now we can put this back down. And I'll use art glitter glue to put it back down so we can be sure it's going to stick. Okay, now what I want to do is put on my book corners, and yeah, I think I can go ahead and put them on and then still fit my paper up under. And these book corners I just got off Amazon. They're not Tim Holtz ones. I do have a couple of Tim Holtz ones, but I'm hoarding them because I don't have but a couple left. But these are just, you get them like 50 or 100 in a pack. Something like that. And they're good ones, but you can't put as thick of a book as you can the Tim Holtz ones. Alright, so I'm just going to put this on here, and then I'm going to take my little pliers and just kind of crunch it down. And normally I don't have to glue them, but if I see they're not going to stay on and they don't feel secure, then I'll go back and put some Fabri-Tac up under there to hold them. But normally, if you give them a good squeeze with your needle nose, they'll stay on there. Okay, and I like the way that looks because I like the way that it looks. It kind of mimics this and mimics that. And I'm wondering, do I want to put something here and here? I could, because when I cover the inside, it will be okay. Do I want to put an eyelet? Since we've already used a brad and we've used in the bookends, maybe a couple eyelets. What do you think? Just for one more middle element. If I can find two the same size. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Alright. That looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to put kind of a dot. I feel like I'm playing Operation, trying to get that dot on there without moving them. Okay, so take this out. I may not be able to reach that high with this thing. Nope, and I don't have a big bite. And I know if I do that other hole, it's going to be too big. Alright, so I'm going to poke a hole. It's really stiff now that I've got that several layers. And I'm trying not to poke it through my fingers because I've got that little flap bent back. And I just know I'm going to poke it through my fingers. Okay. And then can I take my pencil I keep telling myself that I don't need a big bite, and then something like this happens. Of course, if I'd have thought about it before I glued this down, it wouldn't be an issue, would it? All right, let's see if that's big enough. Almost. Almost. Come on, you can do it. It's definitely not the recommended method. Maybe if I go back this way, maybe that's my issue. I don't have my hole cleared out enough on the back side. If y'all know of an easier way to do this, I'm just afraid that if I try to do like a regular hole punch, the hole's going to be too big. Let me see. I'm going to take this little scrap piece over here and poke a hole. Let's see if the brad falls through. No. No, it doesn't. So let's do that. No, I can't get that there either. Oh my goodness. The other one got a bigger mouth. Can I get this one there? Why, no. So those are worthless. Sorry, I've caused a big dilemma, haven't I? Oh, got it. Oh, now I can't get this there. Come on, you're so close. I know it won't go that way. And I don't have a setter. Oh my. Okay. It's going to be option number 2. And you all are going to say, why didn't you do that to begin with? I know. Very carefully. Oh. See, this is what an unedited video looks like, guys. This is reality. Okay. The reality is things get messed up and you just roll with it and you fix them. All this for a couple of little brads or grommets. Alright, let's see what kind of repair work we need to do here. Oh, this glue's driving me crazy. The bottle's about empty is the problem. And you know when you get down to the bottom, all that crud's down there. Let me grab my other one. All that crud is down at the bottom and wants to come out. This one's going to be clogged up because I haven't used it. So if you want to see how not to do something, this is the perfect video for you. Okay. It's pretty much going to be all right. Oh, come on. Is that the Murphy's Law thing? One thing turns into another, to another, and to another. Is that Murphy's Law? Oops. See? Exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Now we have to make sure we get that right back in the same spot. get smushed down. And I am going to go ahead and poke holes through there, because if I don't, even though we faked it, it's going to look weird. So, going to just kind of poke a hole all the way through. And then I'll take my sander. Where are you? And sand those little barbs off, so when I'm covering the inside, you don't have those little weird pieces of paper. Okay. Recovery. We did it. Put my pin in here. Put this back in here so you can see it. So there we go. And I think I'm going to leave it at that for my cover. And in the next video, what we'll do is we'll cover the inside. And then we can determine what we want to do, how we want to put the signature in. So once I put my paper here, I'll glue that down so it's a tuck, and those little edges won't be sticking up like that. But I don't want to do that until I put whatever paper I'm going to put in here. So, I think what I'll do is do similar to what I did on the outside. There'll be a piece here, and then a wider piece in the middle. I did double this up in the middle to make it the spine sturdier so that it would stand up nicely. And once I put the signature in, whatever I did with the signature, goodness gracious. There it is. Once I put this in, then you can see I've got plenty of room to add stuff and make it nice and chunky. So in the end, you know, it'll be even. And my goal is to not have to put a closure on it and just have it, you know, a nice full book, but not over full. But you know how that works for me. Most of the time it doesn't. So that's it. That's the start of my journal. I hope you guys like that. Like the cover. Let me know what you think. Sorry for the mishap there, but like I said, that's reality. You know, we don't We don't do things perfectly, nor are we meant to, but that should never hold you back from, you know, coming up with a solution to fix it. It may not always be a great fix, but anything in junk journaling, in my opinion, can be fixed. So, you know, go for it. If you have an idea, try it. If it doesn't work, so what? You know, do something else. But the main idea is to try it. And that's the only way that you're going to learn. That's how I learned, was making mistakes. And so I say make those mistakes. And, you know, enjoy your mistakes. Own them. So that's it for today, and I will see you guys back for my next video will be the Relax, Revisit, Remake. So hope you'll join me for that, and then I'll be back on Thursday, if not before, for I Thought on Pinterest. So until then, everybody have a great start to your week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.